welcome back to the Fruitful Three Show. Today we're diving into one of the most celebrated and debated holidays of the year, Christmas. While the holiday conjures images of cozy fireplaces, sparkling lights, and gift exchanges, its history, traditions, and even conspiracies tell a much deeper and more complex story. So
stick around as we unwrap the history of Christmas, explore the origins of Santa Claus, learn how cultures across the globe celebrate, and finally dive into some wild conspiracy theories about this holiday.
But first, these two want to talk about merch.
Yeah, I was planning on having new merch, but it's in the laundry, and y'all beat me here before I got laundry done.
That's what I forgot to wear today.
Wearing merch.
I am wearing merch, but I have new merch that I was gonna show off. I was gonna flex. Hey. But if you want your holiday clothing of feeling warm and cozy, we got it all. It's at icedentertainment.net/drip because we cool. So let's kick this off with the first segment.
History of Christmas.
Yeah. So let's start at the very beginning.
Okay.
What's the real story behind Christmas? What's the real story, huh?
Baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus, huh?
It is baby Jesus, born in Bethlehem.
Okay.
In a barn, right?
Well, stable.
Yeah.
Stable.
Basically a barn.
Many know it as the day we celebrate the birth of Jesus, but here's the twist. Early Christians didn't even celebrate Christmas. The holiday was officially adopted in the 4th century by the Roman Catholic Church, strategically placed on December 25th to coincide with pagan winter solstice festivals like Saturnalia and Yule. I'm sorry if I butchered those names, but I'm trying my best.
Hey,
We're not pagan.
you can take this out.
These were times of feasting, merriment, and even reversing social norms. Fun fact. The Bible doesn't mention the exact date of Jesus' birth, and evidence suggests it likely wasn't winter at all. Shepherds wouldn't have been out in the fields during the cold months.
2 minutes. No, say small downstairs. Let's go see Grandma.
Now here's where it gets intriguing.
Staying down.
Many of the customs we associate with Christmas, like decorating trees, using mistletoe, and even gift giving, are borrowed from pagan traditions. For example, the Christmas tree can be traced back to ancient practices honoring Nimrod, a figure of Babylon mythology, with evergreen trees symbolizing eternal life. The Yule log and mistletoe were part of Norse and Druidic rituals celebrating the return of the sun.
Over time, these elements blended with Christian traditions, creating the holiday we know today. But as the holiday evolved, so did its controversies. By the 17th century, Puritans banned Christmas in England and parts of America, calling it an unholy mix of paganism and excess.
So anything you'd like to add to that segment?
So, with that being said, we're talking about like Christmas, not kind of like the history of Christmas there. So they actually believe that Jesus was born in April, like around April time, because if you take the Bible facts that are in the Bible and you align that into times, shepherds are usually in the fields around springtime, when like your breeding season happens for sheep. So that's when they predict. I mean, if you actually take, there's a lot more history in there, and I probably should have taken more notes on that. But
well, there's also
Be springtime on that side of the earth too, around Bethlehem. I don't know what their weather or seasons are.
They're back in the day, there was 13 months and 28 days in a month, which was based off the moon cycle. So if you'd followed the moon cycle, then you'd have a closer predicament. of when Jesus was born. Anything else?
It's kind of confusing. You're going from 13 months to 12 months.
Yeah. Where's the four extra days that we should have?
Did you know what's the math? What is the math there? If you actually did 13 months, you have even days.
Yeah, 28 days.
There we go.
That's based off the moon cycle. It's 100% off the moon cycle.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of confusing because there's months with 31 days, months with 30 days, and then that weird February that's either 28 or 29 days.
That because they're trying to adjust for.
Why don't we just stay with that?
This is a rabbit hole that we're not gonna go down,
okay,
because otherwise we're gonna be here for 4 hours.
We will not talk. Let's stay on the topic of Christmas.
Yes, sir.
So, history of Santa Claus.
Okay, hold on here. Oh,
but first,
so we were talking about like the facts of like his Bible facts of like when Jesus was born, right? These are some of the theories about the time when Jesus was born. The exact date of Jesus' birth is unknown, and there is no evidence in the Gospels or historical sources to determine it. However, most biblical scholars and historians believe Jesus was born between 4 and 6 BC. Here's the evidence. King Herod's reign. Scholars use the biblical story of King Herod's order to kill all male infants under 2 in Bethlehem to estimate the birth year. However, historians disagree on the exact year of Herod's death. Age at start of preaching. Scholars estimate Jesus' birth year by subtracting his stated age of about 30 years when he began preaching. The Gospel of Luke. The Gospel of Luke describes shepherds grazing their flocks, which would only have happened in the spring, suggesting Jesus was born in the spring. The Star of Bethlehem. Some scholars try to correlate the Star of Bethlehem with astronomical events. Latter-day Saints. BYU scholar Jeffrey R. Chadwick uses Latter-day Saint scriptures like the Book of Mormon to estimate Jesus' birth in December of 5 BC. The oldest written records say Jesus was born 194 years, 1 month, 13 days before the death of Commodus, which would be November 18th. Christmas is celebrated on December 25th to commemorate the birth of Jesus, but the historical evidence doesn't support that this is the actual date. Pope Julius declared December 25th, or Pope Julius I declared December 25th as the date to celebrate Christmas in 350 AD, possibly to align with the Roman festival of Saturnalia, or the winter solstice.
I guess I kind of have a question. The angel came to the shepherds when they were in the field grazing their sheep. But when did the angel come to them? When Mary was a month pregnant or 9 months pregnant? There's a 9-month difference there. And how long were they traveling for? Did they start traveling after they were done with the breeding season? Or did they just up and leave right then and there?
That's a good question. All I know is I can't think. There's a lot of history. And if you go back to last year's podcast and look it up, that's the best way I can explain this to the audience. But if you go back to last year's podcast, we explain like the astronomy side of things, of how like the Star of Bethlehem and like around that date that the Star of Bethlehem was there. And there's a giant star that sat in the sky and shone, and it ended up stopping over Bethlehem. So yeah, there's, like I said, if you guys want more information on this, last year's podcast has a lot of the astronomy, and if you want to learn more, put it in the comments below and we can retouch base on this next week, because we're doing a 4
episode series.
Yeah. So yeah, we're doing a 4 episode series. So if you guys have questions about this podcast, we can try to answer your questions in next week's podcast and so on and so forth. But once Christmas is done, then
It's done.
it's kind of done and over with.
We moving on after that.
Yep. So ask your questions when you got them right now during your time window here. So, well, yeah, Elijah brought up a very good point.
Because I've heard it both ways, that they traveled, while she was pregnant, and then I've also heard they'd start traveling after the birth of Jesus.
And that I've heard that they came a while after Jesus was born.
Because I know the angel came and said to them, "There is a baby born in Bethlehem."
Go to the Bible and actually read it. It's been a while since I've read the Gospels. The history of Santa, which is arguably, Levi and I were arguing over whether it should be under pop culture or if it should be the history. But since Santa Claus is kind of based off a real person, we have put him under history of Christmas.
Yes, because he was a real person. St. Nicholas was a guy that was arrested a few times for sneaking into people's houses and giving children presents.
I was gonna say he was Robin Hood before Robin Hood, but I don't really know.
I don't know how old the story of Robin Hood is.
I know, that's what I was gonna say, but
Robin Hood is actually based off a biblical story.
was it?
Yeah, it's in the Old Testament. I just read it too. Oh, it's based off of David and Samuel, or Saul and Samuel, or David, because David was always getting chased, and he was, kept getting away, and Saul was king trying to kill him, and David was just playing jokes basically on him the whole time.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, I mean, Elijah just kind of summed it up in a nutshell, but because basically we kind of just summed this up in a nutshell in a sense, because St. Nicholas was a guy who was trying to give stuff to the poor, and Robin Hood was a guy who was stealing from the rich and giving the money to the poor. So they were both kind of generous guys trying to help the poor out. But let's dive into this.
All right, the history of Santa Claus. Now let's talk about the man in red, Santa Claus. While he might seem
Red One,
I like that movie, actually.
that will be the third episode. Don't be jumping ahead now.
Okay.
Now let's talk about the man in red. I already went there. While he might seem like a modern invention, Santa has long and fascinating history rooted in the story of Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas was a 4th century bishop known for his generosity, particularly toward children and the poor. His legend spread throughout Europe, where he became associated with giving gifts on December 6th, Saint Nicholas Day. In America, Dutch settlers brought the tradition of Sinterklaas, which eventually evolved into Santa Claus. The modern image of Santa, a jolly man with a red suit and a sleigh full of toys, was popularized by Clement Clark Moore's 1822 poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas, or 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And then Coca-Cola's famous 1930 ad, which cemented his red-suited, plump appearance.
and they still have to this day. Think about that. That's
Cola still does that.
that's still 1,000 was that 1,000 or 100 years later.
Pretty close.
Yeah, they're still doing Coca-Cola and Santa Claus and polar bear ads in North Pole.
But Santa isn't the only mythical figure tied to Christmas. Darker counterparts like Krampus and Bilsnickel remind us that not all holiday legends are warm and fuzzy. Now, you can talk about whatever you want to talk right here. Oh, it's not going to load.
Watching Red One, I found out that there's actually a history with Krampus and St. Nicholas. In the movie, they're brothers, and I guess there's a little bit of history. They were both popular back in the day, in the 20s and 30s, when story of Santa first came to Americas. And
They were not brothers, and he was not his father.
no, but
Luke, I am your father.
But I think it's cool how they because a lot of people interacted them with each other just because they both dealt with children and encouraged children to be good kids, both in very different ways.
I have the history of Krampus right here.
Oh, you do?
Go for it.
Okay, the history of Krampus, the Christmas devil, what he was named as, or should I say AKA. So the history of Krampus, AKA the Christmas devil, can be traced back to pagan rituals and pre-Christian Alpine religions. The origin. Krampus originated in the 6th or 7th BC in Austria or Germany. He was the son of Hel, a Norse goddess of the underworld, and was featured in pagan religious practices, especially in the winter solstice. Christianism. As Christianity spread in the Germanic regions, the Catholic Church tried to ban Krampus, but he was eventually absorbed into Christian traditions. Association with St. Nicholas. Krampus became associated with St. Nicholas, who rewards good children with presents, while Krampus punishes the naughty. So there you go. That's where you get your naughty list and your coal and your naughty list and your good list. Krampus not in countries like Austria, Germany, Hungary, and Slovenia, December 5th became known as Krampusnacht or Krampus night. On this night, men would dress as Krampus and roam the streets, terrifying children. Krampuslauf. A Krampuslauf is a parade where people dressed as Krampus scare spectators. This tradition continues to the present day. Popularity. Krampus's popularity has grown in recent years, and he has been featured in horror films. Krampus is often depicted as a half-man, half-goat creature with shaggy black hair, or black fur, long snake-like tongue, and flamboyant horns. He carries chains and bells and is said to beat naughty children with branches and sticks. In some cases, he is said to eat them and take them to hell.
That's funny how dark that is.
I have the who Best Nickel is, which is a character from Germanic.
Is that your best nickel?
Fight!
Particularly associated with the Christmas season, he is often depicted as a grumpy, disheveled man who wears furs and carries a switch or bundle of twigs. Besnickel is known for his dual nature. He both punishes misbehaving children and rewards well-behaved ones. In the folklore tradition, Besnickel visits children before Christmas to determine whether they have been good or bad. If a child has been naughty, Besnickel might hit them with the switch, while good children are rewarded with treats such as nuts and candies. The character is similar in some ways to other European Christmas figures like Krampus, who punishes naughty children, and St. Nicholas, who rewards the good ones. The character of Besnickel has had a long-lasting influence in certain parts of the United States, particularly in Pennsylvania Dutch communities, where he is still part of a Christmas tradition. The name and character have gained more recognition in modern culture, especially through portrayals and the television shows like The Office, where Besnickel appears as a quirky holiday figure on a Christmas episode.
There you go, guys.
There you go.
So, if you wanted to tie them all together, could you maybe say that Besnickel is the one who basically goes out and decides, hey, you've been good, you've been naughty, you're going on the nice list, you're going on the naughty list. He is the person who chooses your fate.
Kinda, yeah. He either beats you with the switch or he gives you nuts and candy.
No, Daddy, no. Not the bell. Oh, wait, not the switch.
Naughty.
Nice.
I didn't have a stick, but that worked.
Well, don't tease me with the good time, big boy.
Hey, don't worry. It's a lot more advanced now in the North Pole. They got like AI systems that prints everything off. Have you seen Santa Claus?
He's fit.
Girl's fit.
Lifting those weights like he's nothing.
Doing bench. Dude, that dude's fast. Like, yo, the fact that he hits all those houses in one night. Wait, like, Dude, the guy's gotta be fit. He like runs, jumps down the chimney. He like throws all them presents under the tree, and boom, next house.
Yep.
And he only eats cookies. He eats all those cookies, but he's not fat because he burns through all those carbs in one night.
Well, he's not fat because he doesn't like macaroons.
Macaroons?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That's still the third episode, dang it. Stop hopping in.
They're Easter
Hey,
eggs.
We're just trying to hype it up, huh?
We're hyping it up.
We're giving them little teasers.
Little
and
teasers.
to keep them
There we go.
entertained.
Mm.
See, because you got there. There's little clickbaits out there to drag them in and keep them interested.
We're going to go into segment 3. Christmas might be celebrated worldwide, but the way it's observed varies dramatically depending on where you are. In America, the holiday is synonymous with lavish decorations, Santa Claus, and gift exchanges on December 25th. In Japan, Christmas isn't a religious holiday, but more of a secular celebration involving fried chicken.
Yeah.
KFC. KFC has marketed itself as the go-to meal for Christmas dinner. Yep.
That is terrible.
Yep, right? Right. In Ethiopia, Christmas or Ghana is celebrated on January 7th according to the Julian calendar. It's a deeply religious holiday marked by fasting and prayer. Now that's what Christmas should be, fasting and prayer. Across Europe, traditions differ even within countries. In Germany, Christmas markets, advent calendars, and St. Nicholas visiting on December 6th are key traditions. In Scandinavia, Yule traditions include elaborate feasts and the burning of the Yule goat or log. No matter where you are, Christmas blends local traditions, religious practices, and even a bit of commercial flair. And I can see Levi. Levi is going to the phone right now to look up more information.
Yeah, because there is a holiday that is around this that Hispanics celebrate. That is So Hispanic holiday one of the Hispanic holidays is they celebrate the three wise men on January 6th, which is called El Dia de los Reyes, or the Three Kings Day. We're gonna look up history of Three Kings Day. So the history of Three Kings Day, also known as Epiphany, dates back to the 4th century and has its origins in early Christian traditions in the Eastern Roman Empire. So that's more of like that's more biblical than. Okay, so biblical origins. The holiday commemorates the biblical story of the three wise men or magi who traveled to Bethlehem to worship the baby Jesus. The magi were named Melchior, Casper, and Balthazar. They followed the star of Bethlehem to find Jesus' birthplace. They presented Jesus with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. So early celebrations. The holiday was first observed in Spain around the 1800s and then spread to Latin America. Gift-giving tradition. The tradition of giving gifts to children on this day began in honor of the Magi's journey. Culinary traditions. Some countries have specific culinary traditions for Three Kings Day, such as Rosco de Reyes, a symbolic ring-shaped pastry from Spain that contains a small plastic figurine of baby Jesus. Le Galette des Rios, a king's cake from France that contains a hidden coin, jewel, or toy. Other traditions. In Puerto Rico, children leave a box of hay under their bed on January 5th, so the kings will leave good presents. In Argentina, the children place their shoes next to the nativity scene to symbolize the readiness for gifts. In Finland, the Christmas tree is traditionally taken out of the house on Epiphany. So that is how kind of like your Hispanic culture celebrate.
That's a lot better than what we do. Gingerbread cookies are nothing. What do gingerbread cookies have to do with Christmas? We should be doing those little round cakes with baby Jesus on them. We should be.
Why did gingerbread men become a Christmas treat?
But yeah, that's
It relates back to Queen Elizabeth I, who supposedly had her cooks mold the pastry into shapes of her favorite courtiers and liked to give VIP guests ginger biscuits that were edible characters.
Yep. I just recently learned why holly is Christmassy.
Oh yeah?
It's because holly keeps its color all year round, and with it being a colorful holiday in the middle of winter when everything's dead and gray,
That's gray.
well, it's like it keeps its green, so it's like life, and then the red represents the blood of Christ. So that's where holly becomes kind of Christmassy.
Cool.
Oh, and then the pointy leaves represent the crown of thorns. Yeah.
Hey yo.
Yeah.
Look at Eli.
Look at me knowing Christmas stuff.
spitting facts over here.
Yeah. Didn't even get the script, and now he's just spitting facts, bro.
Did not read the script.
We brought him in at a last minute deal, and he's over here just like killing it.
This was definitely a last minute thing. Now I'm just spitting facts.
Spitting facts, bro.
Making it rain over here,
Make it
boys.
rain. Christmas information.
Dollar bill, y'all.
$1 bill, y'all.
Toss the cash.
Dollar sign thing around me. Get the money. $1 bill, y'all. Okay. Of course.
That's not a Christmas song.
It can be.
Jingle bell, shotgun shells.
Robin laid an egg.
Oh wait, sorry. This is like we really went off track here.
What? Anyway,
This means you're in an abusive relationship and you need help.
of course, no deep dive into Christmas would be complete without exploring the controversies and conspiracies surrounding it. So buckle up, because this is where it's about to get wild.
Oh, he's a wild ride, boy.
Wayne's World. Wayne's World.
Party time, excellent. I don't know where that came from.
This is Pagan's root conspiracy. Some argue that Christmas is entirely pagan at its core. Symbols like the Christmas tree, mistletoe, and even the date December 25th are seen as evidence that the holiday is more about ancient sun worship than Christianity. Santa's surveillance system.
Yeah, this is the one where you get to see this live action in Tim Allen's Santa Claus. You get to see this whole thing go to work. But ever wonder if Santa's naughty or nice list is preparing us for modern day surveillance? Some theorists claim that this playful tradition conditions children to accept being watched. A chilling thought in the age of digital monitoring. Uh-oh, we got God's eye.
Yeah, Fast and Furious.
Serious.
Yeah.
And what is that? Persons of interest, where they
Yeah.
figure out that people they can tell who needs help and go help them. Yeah, that's some crazy tech right there, man.
The commercialization of Christmas.
Yeah. Okay. I want to go back.
You want to go back?
That's kind of creepy. You got an old guy monitoring children.
Yeah, what
That
are
is
they
sick and twisted, bro.
doing?
It's a little messed up.
No wonder our generation has issues.
They got daddy and mommy issues.
All right, let's keep moving on.
Yep. Let's
Okay.
continue.
The commercialization of Christmas. Critics believe modern Christmas has been hijacked by corporations, turning a spiritual holiday into a retail frenzy. From Black Friday sales to holiday music invading stores before Thanksgiving, the push for profits seems stronger than the push for peace on earth.
America really likes marketing Christmas. Well, what don't they market? Let's be honest.
Well, they start like Christmas sales in like September now, and it's like, yeah.
So there's
I
no
saw a Christmas K Jewelers ad in June. All right.
All right,
Sorry for the interruptions. We got kids in the house. It's the holiday season, obviously, since we're
Thanksgiving weekend.
recording this on the Black Friday. We got holiday season going on, so bear with us.
Will get most likely edited.
Okay.
So
Reflecting on the holiday.
no, we're still in music, but we haven't even got to music.
Mariah Carey.
Yep, that's all you need.
Well, actually, my favorite album is Twisted Sister. That's my favorite Christmas album.
Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra, very classic. What's that one a cappella group? Pentatonics.
There you go.
Yep.
Yep, they're very popular.
But supposedly there's a coordinated effort to dominate airwaves and extend the holiday shopping season by making it earlier and earlier every year.
Oh wait, is that why there's no such thing as Thanksgiving? It literally goes from Halloween straight to Christmas.
Yeah, I was like,
Or even there's Christmas stuff out during Halloween time.
I was telling someone, I was like, man, they should make more Thanksgiving movies.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, Thanksgiving isn't really celebrated worldwide. It's an American
holiday.
Yeah, it's an American holiday because it's part of American tradition and history.
It's just overshadowed by, I mean, good reason, birth of Jesus, but still, it's.
Yeah,
I think Thanksgiving is still an important holiday.
I think if other countries, if they don't want to, I mean, if they want to do the Christmas earlier and earlier, that's fine since they don't have the whole Thanksgiving thing. But in America, the Thanksgiving tradition should honestly be kind of celebrated more because it is.
Oh, but that's going to affect profits and sales, buddy. It's going to affect it. All right, moving on to the outro. So is there anything anybody would like to add before we finish this off?
Are we talking about Christmas movies in a later episode?
That's all under pop culture. Music, movies, games, pop culture.
Oh, remember, what was that one game with you basically slingshot Santa Claus into a chimney? It was popular back in high school.
Yeah.
Just for 1 year, and then they came out with a second game.
Yeah.
But what was that? It was a reindeer kicking Santa Claus into the chimney. What was that?
I don't remember.
But I do have the history of Christmas music.
That was such a fun game.
That can go under pop culture,
Which is
third episode.
okay.
What's the second episode about?
Honestly, I don't know.
You got the third episode all planned out.
Yeah, I was like, the first episode's easy. It's history. The third episode is my favorite because it's pop culture. And 2 and 4, I really have no clue.
By the way, Nebraska got a huge Christmas present this year.
Pro or not?
They're going bowling.
Yeah, they're bull-edgeable. Bull-edgeable.
So hey, we won the Freedom Trophy. Now let's take home
The Heroes Trophy.
the Heroes Trophy. Yep. I was thinking soldiers, but I knew that was wrong.
So there you have it, the fascinating history, traditions, and theories behind Christmas. Whether you see it as a time of faith, family, or festivities, it's clear that Christmas carries a legacy that's as complex as it is magical. What's your favorite Christmas tradition? Or do you have your own holiday conspiracy theories? Let us know on our socials and down below. And don't forget to subscribe to the Fruitful Three Show for more thought-provoking episodes.
So what's your favorite Christmas tradition?
Not having to work.
It used to be opening presents, but now as an adult, I don't know.
Yeah, like you got all hyped up as a kid, like, yeah, what did I get? And now it's like, I open it up and it's like, I don't care that I got these.
Honestly,
Other than books.
Christmas would be just as great if I didn't get anything.
Mm-hmm.
Last year I got way too much, and I think I'd rather just not have presents on Christmas.
Eli did buy me some folklore books that I wanted, and I was very grateful. I had a lot of great time reading by A.P. Beswick.
A.P. Beswick.
A.P. Beswick. Good author.
Yeah,
Great author.
bunch of fun books.
All right, so until next time, stay fruitful and festive, and peace, love, happiness, and unity.
That's all this world really needs. Peace, love. I remember that song.
Yeah, and I know it finished it.
You need to finish it.
I know I need to finish
And
it.
put it on
Keep
your
on
YouTube
rocking.
channel.
Keep on rocking in the free world. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Eat lots of mashed potatoes. Rock hard. Party hard.
and shuffle every day.
Yeah. Party on, dudes.